There have been no shortage of issues when it comes to flexible cystoscopes. We're talking about the recall that happened by Storz back in April of this year. Let me show you the image right here. There we go. Right there. Urgent medical device recall notice. Certain Karl Storz flexible endoscopes for urological use. Anyway, no shortage of issues when it comes to flexible scopes, when it comes to recalls and also from repairs. Those of you who have been following the Thriving Urology Practice Facebook group have recently read Dr. Byrne, who posted issues with her scope, and also Dr. Pullman, who had issues with having his scopes repaired and issues with sending it off for the service to be done and the costs. These scopes can cost probably, reusable scopes can cost about $10,000. And these reusable or single-use scopes have been around for many, many years. In this video, I'm going to cover a particular type of scope that I just received. I haven't used it yet. I'm going to go over a quick unboxing of this type of scope. And this scope is actually from UroViu, V-I-U, and this particular scope is a disposable single-use scope called UroViu G, fully deflectable cystoscope. Back in 2016, I actually met with the folks who were just developing this scope. It was very, very hush-hush. It was at the AUA annual convention in San Diego. I walked across the street to the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel. In one of the exam rooms were a bunch of urologists and then the inventors, and actually Dr. Baladenis was the one who said, hey, I want you to take a look at this. At that time, this scope was not ready for prime time. It was in its infancy. Now, 6 years later, you are now going to be able to see what they have developed. I think it appears to be a very robust product, so we will see what happens when I actually use it in a patient tomorrow. The representative is supposed to come tomorrow, and I believe they just simply shipped the items ahead of time, so I'm going to go through a quick unboxing with the scope here. All right, let's see. Having all sorts of technical issues. This is the box that it came in. All right, let's see. Well, it looks like we have the handpiece. And before I go on to that, let me show you this label here. Display handle kit. It comes with the reusable display handle, the display charging cradle, and the AC adapter. So I guess this is the display handle, the reusable display handle right here. Looks like a small screen right in front. I assume this button right here is to take a still image, and this must be the on-off button. This is what the back looks like. It appears that this is the mating cradle where you put the cystoscope, and then looks like there's a connector in this opening here. So you press this button to turn it on. I think. Yep, there it is. All right, looks like you got 3 icons. You get the case ID, you get to enter the case ID, and the camera, I guess that's to take a still picture and playback of any images. The date and time are there. Let's see. Select a case to play back. I haven't done a case. Oh, okay. These may be sample cases that they've done. Now, I don't know who they are, so I am not going to... I don't know if these are real cases or not, so I'm not going to play back for privacy issues, even though I didn't take those images. So case ID, I guess you put in the case ID here. When it's correct, you click the check button. And camera, no connection. So I can't take a picture because there's no connection. And it looks like the time, battery level, setup over here, system, clock, SD card. Now, it says SD card here, but I don't see anywhere where I can insert an SD card. this is a completely, yeah, I don't see any ports where I can insert an SD card. So I'm going to have to ask the rep when he comes tomorrow. So anyway, that's the handle. And we also have the charging cradle. So pretty cool. I guess there's the connector right there. It almost looks like a lightning connector, but I don't think that it is. Why would anyone use a proprietary lightning connector? So anyway, I think this goes in like that. So it sits like that in a cradle. And the cradle is fairly simple. Looks like a power connector here and a USB connector over here. Not a USB-C connector. It's a different, I think it's a USB-A. I think that's what it's called. It's a small USB connector. Alrighty, let's take that aside. It comes with a power brick. Yep, looks like a small power brick. And it looks like this is a USB connector. All right, nothing exciting there. I don't think there's anything else here. No instruction manuals. I don't think you need an instruction manual. It is so simple. All right. Let's get rid of this box. It comes, let's see. They also shipped UroG Cystoscope cannula. I guess these are called cannulas. And this comes in a pack of 4. You know what already has me excited is that this is made in Taiwan like I am. That's great. All right, let me open this up and see what we have. Looks like there are 4 items in here. And this must be the cannula. This is the UroG Cystoscope cannula. 1 disposable cannula. Date manufactured May of this year, made in Taiwan. This is pretty neat looking. I guess the handle would mate like this. You would insert it this way. And then you would move the tip, the deflection on the scope with this lever right here. And there are actually 2 ports, which is really cool. So if you're actually trying to remove a stent, you can use this port and the irrigation fluid will go in through this port. Looks pretty neat. Looks pretty neat. All right, so that's the handle and the cannula. All right. Looks like a pretty simple setup. I haven't used it yet. I'm going to use it tomorrow. But if you look at the description here, UroG fully deflectable cystoscope. It deflects upwards 210 degrees, so you can retroflex the scope and look at the bladder next. For instance, if you're looking for bladder tumors, or if you're looking for BPH with the intravesical prostatic intrusion, you can clearly identify what's going on. In their first rendition of the scope back in 2016, they weren't able to do this type of maneuver. So I'm glad they overcame that hurdle. And what is interesting is that this downward deflection is negative 130 degrees. Now, if you look at the CYF V2 by Olympus, so this is what I use. If you look at the specs, the downward angulation is 120 degrees. So it's downward angle on the UroViu is 10 degrees more. I'm not sure how practically that impacts on cystoscopy, but it appears to down angulate a little bit more. The depth of field, the outer diameter, the insertion tube outer diameter, and also the working channel, they're about the same. So outer diameter about 5.4 millimeters with a working channel of 6.6 French. If you go to UroViu G, same thing here. Insertion tube 5.5 millimeters, so 0.1 millimeter larger, and the field of view is the same, depth of field is 3 to 50 millimeter. A field of view in the air is 140 degrees. Working channel 2.2 millimeters, and the I saw the working channel 2.2 millimeter working channel. No, it's bigger than that. It has to be bigger than that. Yeah. I think that's a mistake there. Here we go. 6.6 French working channel right here. 6.6 French working channel. There we go. Yeah, that the working channel is actually this thing up here. I think that's the camera. That's the working channel. So I think they labeled that wrong on their website. But anyway, this is the Euro G by UroViu. I haven't used it yet. I'm kind of excited. So this will be, let's see, field of view, 140 degrees in the air, and actually 120 degrees, only 120 degrees with the Olympus. So in the air it's able to see a little bit wider with the UroViu Euro G. Slightly 10 degrees greater downward deflection with a 10 degree or 20 degree more field of view compared to 120. This is 140. And however, the insertion tube outer diameter is 0.1 millimeters larger than the Olympus, which is 5.4 millimeter. So will a patient feel the difference between 5.4 and 5.5 millimeter, 0.1 millimeter? Probably not. Probably not. Now, there are other manufacturers of single-use disposable scopes. AMBU, AMBU is another popular one. I haven't used it yet. But in light of the sterilization, the breakage, and cleaning, high-level disinfection issues with the Storz, with the Olympus repair issues, single-use scopes may be something to look into. Now, you may be thinking, what is the cost efficiency when it comes to these scopes? Well, in the July 2021 Urology Practice, there was an article written about disposable versus reusable cystoscopes, a micro-costing value and analysis in high-volume and low-volume urology practices. This is comparing the AMBU A-Scope 4 and reusable Olympus CYF VHR and V2. I'm using the V2. And the bottom line is that based on this analysis, per case costs favor reusable cystoscopes. While single-use scopes pricing may be prohibitive for large and small facilities at this present time, these instruments are powerful adjuncts to urologists' armamentaria when portability and efficiency are prioritized. If you are a type of practice that likes to just perform cystoscopies whenever you want and not schedule patients for cystoscopies, or if you are a rural practice where patients are coming in from far away and you can't really plan when you are going to perform a cystoscopy, then this may be the way to go. However, over the long term, looking at amortizing it for over 5 to 10 years, it is more costly to use single-use disposable scopes. And also, something not mentioned is the environmental impact. No one is talking about that, but there is an environmental cost when it comes to the use of these types of scopes, these types of disposable scopes. Other than that, if you are also running a satellite clinic, say you have a main clinic and you have a satellite clinic where you want to perform cystoscopies in the satellite clinic, then these single-use disposable scopes may be helpful because you don't have to worry about high-level disinfection setup. You don't have to worry about bringing a tower, bringing a camera, and bringing a video screen to these remote sites to be able to deliver the type of service that you desire. Now, I'm going to go into this a little bit more. So this is an interesting handle, just first impressions, because you can hold the scope or the handle like this, but then you can tilt the screen, which is pretty cool. And I think you can rotate. Yeah, you can rotate it. So if you are if you are doing a male cystoscopy and the head is that way, maybe holding it like this is the way to go, and you can look at the screen as you're introducing the scope. So the screen articulates, which is pretty cool. That's just something that I thought of when I was looking over at this handle. So anyway, I look forward to trying it out and then giving you my impression regarding the actual use of the scope. It appears to be relatively new. I know some urologists have used it already and they have reported favorable results and experience. So I'm looking forward to trying it out myself. As usual, any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. Take care. Bye-bye.